Hi there, James Withall, the CEO of Rupert Resources. Thanks for your time and listening to this. Look, Rupert Resources had a fantastic year last year. I mean, we just announced 4 million ounce resource, almost 4 million ounce resource at 2.5 grams, one of the most significant new discoveries of the last probably 15, 20 years in the industry. So it was a phenomenal year for the company. And it's all been about delivering on our exploration strategy up in Finland and this Ikkari discovery that's been the outcome of that.
So talk to me about last year, James. Because, you have had a good run of it, but how did you achieve the gains of last year? That's when people started to notice you.
Yeah, look, it was, I guess, the gains of last year were on the basis of, a couple of years before that, of very, systematic, steady work that probably people weren't that interested in, all the background of the science. And we developed a very systematic approach to exploring this part of the world. A new technique, a combination of two different methods, and then setting very clear goals for our exploration team about what they had to find, deposits of scale. And we laid out, go back to our presentations, got to find a deposit of $2-3 billion of NSR. We call it a couple of million ounces, and then very strict goals. And the team have just delivered on that. They've been very disciplined of how we've worked through them, filtered through a lot of targets. And the outcome of that is that we made 6 discoveries and we invested about 36,000 meters on drilling into this Ikkari discovery. And that's what's come to that maiden resource.
But here's your problem. People got excited about what you did last year. You've seen huge gain in the share price, market cap, etc. It's no longer a growth story, is it?
Well, I dispute that, because I think the story's changed significantly. We've gone from people wondering about if the next set of drill results is going to be successful and the volatility that comes with that, to actually being, do you know what? This is just basically a milestone in the development of this company. We wanted to come out and say what we found already, because we knew it was significant and we wanted to answer that question for investors. But it hasn't. It's not a now let's just do the PEA and de-risk it story. Yeah, so we can show the growth. Yeah, certainly more growth to have through de-risking it and telling people what are the economics there, and we'll deliver that over the next year. You'll get a PEA, but it won't be on the resource that we just announced. It'll be on a resource based on another 60,000 odd meters of drilling in this region. So that's a big change from where we are now. And then that growth, obviously, what's the growth potential of that extra drilling? It's at Ikkari for sure, where we see really good upside. But also we're still looking for the other Ikkaris, and we're going to drill off the satellites. So, there's an awful lot of growth we feel in the potential of that asset. And then, beyond that, we still run the business that found Ikkari. I found these discoveries. We're still running that in the background, our new generation discovery business. Those guys are more pumped up and excited than ever. So there's still potential growth on that side. And that's really, I'll take it a step further. You look at our KPIs of our team and our management team, we have to deliver a return, a multiple return on the shareholders' capital we invest every year. So yeah, we're aligned. We want to see more growth, and we're going to try and deliver it.
Okay, so you're an ex-analyst from the City of London. You know what the institutions are looking for. So you've set some KPIs up in place. What else are they expecting from you that you're going to be able to deliver?
Look, they'll want to know, they want us to advance the project. The one issue with exploration companies as an analyst was they just stayed exploration companies and were like, okay, what next? And ultimately, if you're an investor, you still want line of sight to when that cash flow from that discovery is going to come forward. So, a lot of people ask us this question: what are you now? What are you doing for? So we're both. We're still an exploration company, but we're also going to be de-risking it. And so you'll have a preliminary economic assessment in the market for next summer based on that new resource. That gives it one step forward. Then we move straight into a PFS study, straight into the EIA submission, and to keep it moving as fast as we know the time scales or the milestones we have to meet from here to bring it into production as soon as possible. And we'll be doing that at the same time.
Right. And you've got the money to do that.
Yeah, and most importantly, we do have the money. It's a very good point. We have 55 million on Canadian dollars, so that sees us well through to 2023 to cover all these next steps, plus do the exploration we want to do.
Right, and with regards to your investors, you've been doing road shows for the last few months. What's their biggest concern, and how are you going to overcome that?
I think if anything, people's biggest concern is always what's next. How do you keep up this momentum? How do you keep on finding something? How do you keep on doing that? And I think you do get distracted off, and how do you keep your focus of what we're trying to do? And I guess I'd probably just go back to the strapline of all our original presentations. Our job as a team and our goal was to go and unlock the economic potential of all the assets of Rupert Resources. We're doing that in Finland. We have so many more assets in Finland and so much bigger license package still to explore. We've done that in Canada. We've joint ventured off our project with Trillium Resources. They're working on our Red Lake package. So I think that point, I just make it clear to investors, we are just very, very focused on always looking to unlock and maximize the inherent value of what we own, and that's the everyday job of this company.
Okay, so what do you want to be when you grow up?
What do we want to be when we grow up? I think there's the question that all the and I think people say, oh, what's going to happen? Are you waiting to be bought out? Are you doing this? I mean, none of those things really spend a lot of management time on. I think go back to our presentation now. It says high quality across the front. We are looking for high quality assets. We found a high quality discovery. As investors, you should be only wanting to buy high quality stocks, and because you can sleep at night if you've got something that high quality, because by its very nature, someone else will want to buy something that is high quality. That's just the nature of the world. So create something that's like that, and I don't worry about what I'm going to be tomorrow, because if I just keep on doing the job and demonstrating that we've got a really quality product, we'll either be a great quality production company or someone else will have a great quality asset if the shareholders, want to take an offer from a company in the future.
You make it sound quite simple. Is it that simple? What gives you the confidence that you've got an asset which is going to allow you to deliver the things that you have promised your investors?
I think that comes down to where you can look at the Ikkari discovery and how we filtered it through from the beginning. That's why we set this goal at the beginning. People say, and simplistically saying $2 billion worth of NSI and scale is not it doesn't really describe it. It's all those other elements. I look at the Ikkari discovery, it's close to surface. It's low metallurgical risk. It's in a great jurisdiction in Northern Finland. It's got all those things that reduce the risks of spending investors' money in the region. So that's the thing. That is ultimately the thing. It's no one single thing. It's not, it's going to produce X many ounces a year, it's X size. It's about, certainty over cash flows in the future. And that doesn't matter whether I'm producing gold or there's some widget manufacturing company. If I know I've got a really great product that I can sell in the future, that's what it's about. It's about, and certainty that you've probably got a high margin to be made on that product as well. So, so it's made very, very complicated in the mining sector, all the different elements, but really comes down to, it should be simple.
Cash is king.
So cash is king, but it's really about returns, Matt. And, how do we continue to deliver those returns? We've been asking about those. We've got our first resource. We'll continue to de-risk that. We hope to make it bigger. And, we've got the other discoveries we've made. So it's not just about the one that everyone heard about last week. It's about all the assets and how we continue to demonstrate the potential return for the shareholders of this company over the next few years of all those assets. And that's what we're going to do.